and it was just like the skies parted, dude. Like I was like, oh my god, like this is the piece that I'm missing,
Yep.
right? Because my big thing was always belonging. I wanna figure out how to belong and fit in, and
Absolutely.
I felt like I didn't, even though I probably did. Um, but man, I'll tell you, after that party, I really, really fit in.
You had a ride.
Built by the rested, you can't tell me nothing. Built by adversity, led by courage. Everybody doubted me, now everybody proud of me. I swear to God, I'm gonna be everything I
It's your boys, Michael and Ronnie, built by the Red Stick. Welcome back to another episode. We got some fire information. We just dropped new website.
New website.
Y'all go make sure to check us out.
BuiltByTheRedStick.com. In that thing.
And look, while you're at it, go ahead, like, subscribe, all platforms. Share,
Comment.
all the good
Comment
stuff.
again. Subscribe, resubscribe. Smash. You heard my man. Smash.
But
Hit it, smash.
smash it. But y'all give us about a couple of seconds for our sponsors, and we'll be right back to y'all.
And this episode is brought to you by Rayville Recovery Treatment Center. Rayville is about an 80-plus bed facility in North Louisiana, just about 3 hours north of Baton Rouge. It's the number one co-occurrence residential treatment facility in the state of Louisiana. If you're struggling with mental health, if you're struggling with alcohol or drug abuse, give my people at Rayville Recovery a call. The number is 318-728-5488 and tell them I sent you. And I know you probably like, well, I want to get help, but that's 3 hours away. Don't trip. They got you. They will come pick you up. They will transport you all over from the state of Louisiana. I'm talking all four corners, even the central. They coming to get you. Admission is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All you got to do is call that number, 318-728-5488. And then you probably like, well, I want to get some help, but I don't have insurance. Don't trip. They got you. They even take uninsured people for help. No man or woman left behind. Call my beautiful people at Rayville Recovery today. Again, that number is 318-728-5488. Rayville Recovery. Recovery redefined. The journey starts with you.
And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite duo since Jordan and Kerr.
Hey.
And we have the privilege, the opportunity, the joy to be interviewing Titan in the podcast world.
Titan. You use the word Titan.
Titan.
You ain't never
But
Titan.
as tradition,
Right.
I'm going to alley-oop it to Ronnie for the intro.
What's up, my people? What's up, my babies? What's up, my loves? Look, I have the unbelievable pleasure of introducing to y'all Big Lou. Look, this guy is way up in Ohio. That's like an hour time difference. I don't know if it's cold right now, if it is or if it ain't, but he is with us, not in studio, but via Zoom, but we still got him. My guy will be 9 years sober. He's actually 9 years sober by the time this airs.
Yep.
So let's give everybody, I'm sorry, I'm so nervous right now. I don't know what to say. Everybody, let's give my new friend, Mr. Lewis, a Built by the Red Stick. Man,
Appreciate
clap.
you, man. I appreciate
Big
you,
Lou,
bro.
what's up, baby?
How are you? How are you?
I'm great. And yes, y'all already know I stalk the heck out of him. I'm in his lives.
That's all right.
I'm in his DMs. I'm in his emails.
That's
But
all
man,
right.
I've been following Get a Grip podcast
Yeah.
is your platform. I've been following it for a minute now since we got into podcasting. I started like watching podcasts to see like what
As
people
you
are
should.
doing. Yes,
As you should.
And man, I came across you and your co-host Aaron, I believe his name is.
Yep.
And
yep,
then
yep.
I caught your story on Rise Above with Kevin Landon, and I say,
Yep.
God, if there is a God, can I get him on the podcast? And guess what happened? You responded, there is a God. Mama, you was right. So
Hey.
Mr. Lou is here. You here.
Taught to always say yes to recovery, bro.
Yes,
So,
sir. Man, I'm honored, and I'm sure Mike will say
Absolutely.
the same thing,
Absolutely.
man. He used the word Titan, because y'all been putting it down for a minute. And we just getting in this space, but we offering and we sharing the same message, and
It's a grind.
yeah, we
grind,
really
bro.
appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come be with us.
And
Got
with
it.
with not enough or not, hold on, let me rephrase. With all the negativity that gets propagandized and put out into the world, man, there can never be enough hope spread. So we're internally grateful for what you do for the recovery community, for the overcoming adversity community. And we're interested to get to know you and let our people and our followers get to know you as well. So first and foremost, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how Get a Grip came into fruition.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I'm a '90s baby. So born in 1990, Riverside Hospital. I grew up in an affluent community, dude. I grew up in the suburbs. Like, I can't sit here and lie to you and tell you that I've got stories of the hot water getting cut off, or there no food on the table, or hand-me-down clothes. I didn't have any of that shit, dude. I was very, very lucky, and every time I get a chance to speak, I always like to highlight that, because there's so many people, so many kids out there that just don't get the opportunities that I had, and it goes to show that the disease of addiction does not discriminate one bit. It doesn't give a fuck who you are.
Absolutely.
And I found that out the hard way. Knucklehead kid starts fucking around with Oxycontins, and next thing you know, you're sticking a needle in your arm. It's like that. With the podcast, the podcast is something that had been on my mind, probably for the past 6 or 7 years, but just like everybody else, everyone's always scared, or what are people going to think about me, or like, are they going to be cool with this, or like, is this going to fuck up my ability to get a real job, or, all the dumb shit that goes through your head. And my dad passed away from cancer in October of 23.
Sorry
my mom passed away of an overdose 6 years ago.
Damn.
Oddly enough, on Overdose Awareness Day, August 31st, is when she passed. But I remember after he passed away, I was sitting on my now ex-girlfriend's couch, and this just like... Dude, it felt like a fucking bolt of lightning struck me, and I was just like, you're doing it. And you're not, and it's not, when I do shit, I do shit.
Yes, indeed.
I'm a man of integrity, and I go hard, and when I say I go hard, I mean, like, I give everything I have to what I'm doing, right? And so I got with my buddy, Bruno Burson, who is the producer of our show. And
Shout out, Bruno.
I grew up with him kindergarten to we graduated high school, and then Aaron, our co-host, I met him in a room of recovery, and then we ended up in jail together, and we spent 6 months together in jail. What better way to get to know someone than in jail, and you have nothing to do. I mean, you got a pretty good idea of what that person's like.
Yeah.
You spend time in jail with them, but man, and we started off by just interviewing people that, I worked in corrections after I got in trouble, and so a lot of the guys that were in that facility, connected with me when they got out, because I'm them, and I made it known that I was them while I worked there, and we just started interviewing guys, and it worked, and we've grown now to, I think we're like 125,000 on TikTok. We just crossed 11,000 on YouTube. And like, for people who don't understand, like, yes, 11,000 is a small number on YouTube, but it is a fucking ton of work to get there.
We know.
Yes. Dude, we are stuck at 1.95K right now. We get it.
It's tough, dude.
Yeah.
It's a grind. But you got to know, you just got to keep going. Consistency, same day, same time, keep putting shit out. And
but I'm also saying, I don't want to cut you off. It also helped having people of your stature reaching down for the small people like us and like blessing us as well.
Of course, yeah. No, and I always say yes, and I I like doing podcasts. Like, to me, it's fun, man. I get to meet new people. I get to share with people. It's kind of, and in this case, it's kind of got that meeting kind of vibe. You know, like I like it. I think it's cool. I think they're important. And I think people are driving to work. They'll listen to your shit, and who knows what they might hear that could help them that day.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I honestly thought you was blowing me off, bro. I was so nervous because you was just like, yeah, dude, sure, whatever. I'll do your little podcast. Just please get out of my DMs, get out of my messages. Look, here's even my email. Just send it there and make it sound legit. You showed up, bro. Dude, you could ask it before you popped in. I was like, oh my God, bro. It's a joke.
No. I don't fuck around with people.
Yeah.
Like that, man. If I say I'm gonna do it, I do it.
We appreciate it.
And look, I'm glad you brought up the point that, about coming from an affluent community, and because me and Ronnie talk about that all the time, because we both come from a different dynamic, yet we share a similar passion, similar struggles, and that's what our hope is to like let people know that you don't have to be the guy under the bridge drinking beer out of a brown paper bag. You don't have to be like, it doesn't matter what your background is, right? Like, anybody can look at me and Ronnie and see we're two different people, yet we found and united over this common cause of A, what we struggled with, and then B, our overcoming. And that's what we are about, like overcoming mental health, overcoming adversity. We've interviewed people who never even dealt with addiction, but they've overcome what, you talked about your mother and your losing your mother and father, right? Like overcoming that stuff and the mental health that comes with that. So just like a little taste, a little touch on like, what was your journey and the process to getting to the point, I think Ronnie made reference to it, 9 years sober, which is huge.
That's huge.
What was your journey of like getting to that point to where you could get to this, time?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much time we got or how much you want, but I'll try and shorten it up for you and do the best I can, because there's a shitload there. But so I'll start at 5th grade. 5th grade, I was introduced to the DARE program. You guys probably both remember DARE.
Drugs.
Drugs are really expensive.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually don't know what it stands for. I can't remember.
Drug awareness resistance education.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
That's
Well,
it.
let me tell you right now, it fucking sucks.
Look, I share about DARE all the time. DARE doesn't do anything besides introduce people to drugs.
I say that because I now go back to my high school and I speak to the 8th and 10th graders and I tell them my story. And like something about that just makes me feel so much better knowing that I'm telling these kids the truth.
Absolutely.
Right? Like I'm not scaring you. This isn't Scared Straight. This is just me telling my story, and I'll tell them things like, hey, when you go get that Adderall, they'll all act like they don't do the shit, even though I know that they are.
Absolutely.
But like, hey, when you get that Adderall, you realize that if you get pulled over and caught with that, that's a felony.
Yeah.
That's a felony drug possession charge. Or maybe you get one Percocet, one Perc 5 for the weekend. You picked it up on Wednesday and you're just taking it home to hide it so you can take it on Friday night, and you get pulled over. It's a wrap, dog. That's a felony, and that's gonna fuck your life up forever. And like, take it from me, it's difficult. But so DARE was like my first intro to drugs and alcohol, and I thought, like, what I took away from DARE was that there would be immediate consequences. That if I used or drank, immediately my life was gonna fall apart. I didn't realize that it could take years before I start to see consequences for some of the things I was doing, right?
Right.
So let's fast forward to freshman year of high school. I did not have a drink or a drug, which was is unbelievable to me now that I look back on it. And I made honor roll. So fuck you. That's mine forever. But it was sophomore year when I first picked up, and I remember I went out to this party Thanksgiving break, and I finally was like, fuck this, bro. Like, all these people are going out and coming back to school Monday and taking their tests and going to practice and doing all this shit, and their lives aren't falling apart. So Dare clearly they lied. They fucking lied. So I was like, I was like, all right, I got to go see what the deal is, and I did. And like, dude, I went out, had some drinks, smoked some weed, and it was just like the skies parted, dude. Like I was like, oh my god, like this is the piece that I'm missing,
Yep.
right? Because my big thing was always belonging. I wanna figure out how to belong and fit in, and
Absolutely.
Yep.
I felt like I didn't, even though I probably did. But man, I'll tell you, after that party, I really, really fit in.
You had
Like,
arrived.
Yep.
yeah, people, Monday you go back to school and people are coming up to you like, man, that party was dope, like that shit was sick, da 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 da. And it did, dude. It felt like I had arrived. It really did. And right, I remember thinking back to Dare again, one last time, the last time I did, and saying, all right, like let's do this like once every month and a half. Like let's take it easy. Let's not. But see, what I didn't know was that I had these genes from my mom, who was alcoholic, my grandmother, who committed suicide, my grandfather it's all my mom's side, who died of cirrhosis of the liver. So like I didn't know that I was riddled with alcoholism.
Right.
Like I had, my genes were dog shit basically.
Yeah.
If my dad and my dad's side of the family hadn't turned out as amazing as they did, I mean, guys, I don't know what you'd be looking at right now, but it wouldn't be this. I can tell you that right now. You'd be looking at some sort of weird, deformed fucking creature. I can tell you that. So, sophomore year, I had that drink for the first time. Great. I did it a couple of times that year. Junior year was when it was like, okay, now I'm snorting Adderall. Okay, now I'm taking mushrooms for the first time. Okay, now I'm taking LSD. Now I'm taking some Vicodins and Percocets. So, like, other things are starting to appear. And
Yeah.
by senior year, I decided I wanted to sell drugs because I didn't want to pay for my own shit.
Of course.
And yeah, right, like it made perfect sense. And I was in an affluent neighborhood where I knew these kids had money, and I knew I was gonna wax the fuck out of them.
So not only
I
could
knew.
you sell drugs, you got to tax.
Yeah, oh yeah,
You had the best life. Keep going. Do tell.
yeah. I would, dude. I'd sell weed like 20 a gram. This is 2008, by the way. So like, I was fucking him up. But yeah, dude. Like by senior year, I was doing something every day, all day. Weed mostly, but I was doing something every single day, all day. We had open lunch at Grandview, which meant we got to leave for an hour, so I could like leave. Yeah, well, yes, and go to like McDonald's or Taco Bell. Or,
Hell
like,
yeah.
Yeah, and so like the normal kids would go to like McDonald's and shit, or they'd go to Taco Bell. I would go smoke and fucking rip down some shots or like whatever, drink some beers, and then come back to school. And like that's what I did, and it was very convenient. And I thank them very much for allowing me to do that. Very helpful, very helpful. Here's where it got sticky. Is when I graduated high school. I did get into college. I applied at one school. It was Ohio University in Athens, Ohio.
Okay.
If you know anything about OU, it is a massive party school.
Ben Roethlisberger.
They have the best Halloween party in the fucking country, allegedly, is what I had heard.
It's so good. Ben Roethlisberger still go back to party with the college kids.
Yeah, yeah, sure, yeah, we know he does. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be shocked to see Big Ben out there fucking playing beer pong.
Yeah.
Would not shock me. But look, I mean, yeah, man, like it was like this mythical college that like this big party school. And I went for computer science. And I went for computer science because I built computers. Like I was a nerd gamer kind of kid, secretly behind the scenes. And I was like, well, if I can build computers and like fucking computer science, like that was, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. That's
Right.
what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Like I did not know what the fuck I was doing. I in between my senior year of high school, my freshman year of college, I was introduced to OxyContin, and I went to re-up one day on some weed and a couple other things, and my dude was like, "Yo, can you move these?" And he fronted me like 50 30s and gave me like 10 80s, just off rip, bang, here you go.
That's a movie.
And I was like, all right. So that lets you know, though, that, like, I was moving some shit, but I wasn't, like, a brick man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was a middle-of-the-road dealer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that I fucking move kilos like a lot of people like to do, because I didn't.
Right.
And I remember I got home, and I was like, all right, well, if I'm going to sell this, I got to try it. I got to know what I'm fucking, going to be giving to my clients here. Like, how can I fucking sell you something if I can't describe it? Or
There you
fucking,
go.
you know what I mean? Whatever.
Checks out.
That's fair enough.
And dude, like, I snorted, I think it was like 20 milligrams, so like a quarter of one, and 80, one of the OxyContin 80s.
Oh, you were sick.
And I was not sick. I was perfect. I was perfect. I was like, oh my God, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, this is the drug. This is, like, the alcohol was great, the weed was great, the whatever was great, but like that was it. That from that point forward, that was it. And I remember I started to like frown upon drinkers. Like, y'all are blacking out. What the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you?
That's me.
You did the same shit.
You're telling my story currently.
Yeah. So like I'd frown upon drinkers, and I started like doing fucked up shit. Like, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't sell you drugs for like no real reason. But I'd make you like go around to some other guy who knew me, so you could get whatever you wanted. Like just fucked up shit. Like, I turned into a huge asshole. And I had the means, and I didn't learn what dope sick meant for a really long time.
Right.
Like, truthfully. So I go down to OU, and I'm thinking, like, fuck yeah, baby, like, party time. I'm about to move this shit. Like, Columbus is gonna hook, come back to Columbus, get what I need, come down to OU, move this shit. It just didn't play out the way that I thought it was going to. That feeling that I had of belonging and fitting in came back. Grandview's small, bro. Like, Grandview Heights, Ohio is where I went to school. And I was the man in Grandview. And Athens is small too, but it's much, much bigger than Grandview. And I got down there, bro, and like, I just felt like I wasn't supposed to be there. I didn't fit in, I didn't belong, whatever. And I remember I made it 2 quarters. I passed my classes, but I made it 2 quarters, and I called my dad. And I remember like bawling my eyes out and being like, "Yo, Dad, I can't do this." Like, and I knew the reason I was upset. Like, I was crying because I knew he was gonna be let down, and then I was letting myself down. And I really did truly feel that emptiness, dude. Like, I really felt like I didn't click with these guys. Like, it didn't matter how much I drank or what like, I was just fucked up. I was different. I don't know why. Like, and so I dropped out, and I moved home. I moved in with my girlfriend at the time, who was still in Columbus. That made it hard to stay down there. Got a job at a burger place, not like Burger King. Step up, Five Guys.
Of course.
Oh, Five Guys.
Yeah, Five Guys. So, got a job at Five Guys, but that was really just to like for Dad. You know what I mean? Like, so it was like a cover, just so I had a job, so the money wasn't. Hey Lou, how you getting all this money?
So he thought Five Guys was paying you $1,000 a week?
Huh?
He thought Five Guys was paying you $1,000 a week?
He thought he didn't ask questions. I don't know. He didn't ask questions. Like, I had a job and
That's all that matters.
That's all yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know, it was all good. Around 2012, you guys may be familiar with this. Purdue Pharma changed the formula to OxyContin.
Hated it. Worst day of my life.
I remember before it happened, everyone was talking about it, like, man, it's gonna happen. It's
Yep.
gonna happen. And I was like, nah, stop it. It's not gonna happen. You kidding me?
Yeah.
The amount of money they're making right now?
Yeah.
Are you fucking joking? Why would they fuck with the formula of this pill? This pill is perfect. Like, what the fuck, bro? And it happened. It happened, dude, and it flipped the market completely upside down. Like, the prices of the pills that you could abuse the way you wanted to skyrocketed. That's when you started seeing that $1 a milligram
Yep.
bullshit. I mean, the Oxycontins themselves, the further time passed, you come across one of those bitches and you're looking at $100 for an 80.
Oh, they became obsolete.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, dude, I always tell people, and maybe this is a bad thing to say, like, the night before my 9 years, but, like, if you sat an OC 80 down in front of me right now, like, right this second, I'd have to think really hard. Bro.
You
Like,
you said that in your live the other day too.
Yeah, I'm being honest.
Right.
Like, it would really, like, that would, you could put a beer in front of me, fuck off. It's cocaine, fuck off. Anything else, but you put an 80 in front of me, like, you better get rid of it quick.
That's real.
Dude,
there's just something about those pills, bro.
It's the nostalgia of it. It's because that's when shit wasn't necessarily bad, but it was still fun. Drugs and alcohol was still a party at that time.
Right.
So it's the nostalgia of what it was like before, I don't know what your story is, but mine went from, the Oxy 80s when they were, $20-$30 for an 80 milligram to the $1 milligram 30s, to heroin. And by the grace of God, I got sober before fentanyl really hit Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
But now, the fentanyl and the press pills and everything. So it's, for me, I fully relate and understand, like, it's the nostalgia of, the whole ritual of taking
Stains
it
on
and
the shirt,
wiping the coating off your shirt,
Yeah.
the clothes hand.
Sir, I was highbrow. I used baby wipes.
That's that Grand View stuff, huh?
I don't know what the fuck this shirt shit is.
Dude, we used to take hose clamps and fold it and use it.
Yep. Oh, dude, it would make the powder was like so fine and perfect. Like,
You would choke
it
on
was
it a little bit if
And
you
look,
hit it just right.
look, go ahead and make your...
Disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, we are not romancing, fantasizing the drug. Built by the Wrestling, nor Get a Grip podcast. We are not telling you to go out and find an OC80 to relive the past. We're just giving our story. There you go. Give them yours too.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. This isn't about glorifying anything. It's just real.
It's just the reality of it.
Yes.
Like, it's just the truth. And yeah, dude, so, like, I picked up literally an OxyContin habit at 18 years old, like, just boom.
Yep.
Like that.
We all have.
And it was crazy, dude. It was crazy. I don't think I even realized what the fuck I was truly doing.
I didn't.
At that age.
Yeah.
I was too young.
Yeah, I know for a fact I didn't. It was just a good time.
Yep.
Yeah. And then after a while, I noticed some of my friends, because to me, I was so just not give a fuck about it. I'd go to parties still, and I would just bust down, like, right in front of people. Like, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm doing a pill. What the fuck do you mean? What are you talking about? What am I doing? I'm fucking doing a pill. Like, what? You just ripped, like, 3 shots. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, but I noticed that people started to back away from me, like, slowly. Lewis became not fun anymore, right?
Yeah.
And I still was selling drugs and that was going fine, but like you said, 2012 heroin heroin just magically appeared out of thin air. It was what it feels like. I don't know how they managed to do that. I don't know.
We have a few ideas, but we're not here to debate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, we got it.
Yeah. So I'm at Five Guys, right? And I'm for the first time I'm dope sick. And I'm flipping burgers. I'm standing over one of those hot ass flat iron grills, dope sick as fuck. Of course, everybody at Five Guys knows what I'm doing because I sell them drugs.
Absolutely.
I'm dope sick, and my dude's like, "Hey man, you want me to get you something that'll get you right, like make you feel better?" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, yes, yeah."
Absolutely.
What do you mean? Yes, please hurry the fuck up.
Why did it take you so long to ask?
Yeah, why are you asking me now? This should have been done hours ago. But he ran out back. I met his dude. I got a freebie, which that was my one and only freebie from that gentleman, but appreciate it, I guess. Whatever. I came back for more, so his freebie worked. The first time I did heroin,
That's good marketing.
Yeah, no, I mean he got me.
Yeah,
he got me, and he was my guy for a minute, so he definitely made some money off me. I used heroin for the first time on the clock at my job in the bathroom on the baby changing station, and to you guys that's normal as fuck.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds normal to us.
That's super normal. And that's,
Yeah, I know.
That's the cleanest
really
part of the bathroom. Like
it's the best. I know.
Yeah.
It's the best spot to do it. It's just where it's where you get high.
Yeah.
It's where you get high in a bathroom. But to normal people, A, I'm at work. B, I'm on the clock, right? I'm actually working. C, I lock myself in this bathroom for the first time I do heroin.
Absolutely.
D, I'm doing it on a baby changing station, like where parents put their fucking children.
Yeah.
So like, that is completely fucked up, and it shows that I had a total disregard for my life and anybody else around me.
Yeah.
I think it paints a perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, once I picked up heroin, dude, toilet bowl spiral. Girlfriend breaks up with me, lose the job, lose the condo, lost the fucking dog, Turbo. Man, I miss that dog, that Jack Russell Terrier. That was such a good dog. Fuck the chick. But, yeah, and I ended up having to move back home with mom and dad, you know, and that, as a 22-year-old is not a great feeling, you know, and I know there's people that have been in situations at later ages, whatever. I'm not trying to downplay anything. I'm just saying, for me at the time, at 22, moving back home with mom and dad made me feel like I'm failing at life, right? Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? I need to get it together. So I moved back home, and I mentioned that my mother had passed away of an overdose.
Right.
So what I didn't tell you about the Oxycontins is that I was also selling them to my mom. She, in 2008, when the housing market crashed and the recession happened, my dad got laid off and lost his insurance, and my mom lost all of her pills. She couldn't afford to pay the full price without the help of insurance. So I knew that, and so I would sell her 80s. When the 80s disappeared, it was like, well, what do we do now, Mom? Like, you're not going to do fucking heroin, right? Like, there's no way you're going to do heroin. Well, come to find out, she was going to do heroin, and she did do heroin, and I did it with her. It started out white China, right? Like, we're snorting it. And then one day, my buddy comes over, and my dad was diabetic. And honestly, thank God for that, because probably saved me from a couple diseases, truthfully. He had a ton of clean rigs, needles, from being diabetic. And I remember I opened the junk drawer, I was looking for like a pair of scissors. And my dude was like, yo, are those needles? And I was like, yeah, what's up? He's like, yo, let me show you something. So I grab 2 needles. We go downstairs. Fucking, he ties me off. He hits me. Boom. He hits himself. Boom. And I'm like, damn, that was $10 worth. Fuck, that's cheap as fuck. Like,
Yep.
this is sick. Okay, we're gonna make this work. Like, all right, fuck yeah. Like, cool, this is gonna work. We can keep this going. Um, for mom, I don't remember truthfully the conversation that took place. I think it was more of like one of those like non-verbal, like I looked at her, she looked at me, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I hit mom for the first time. Mom became the only friend that I had in my addiction, dude. She was it. Like, I didn't give a fuck about women. I didn't give a fuck about nothing. Just dope. Just drugs. That's it. That's all I fucking cared about. And at this point, it's time to start committing crimes, and that's what I do. I commit crimes. I was a booster mainly, but I'd break into cars here and there. Um, the first time I got arrested was for a misdemeanor eluding. We got lit up, and I drove 4 blocks, and so they decided they wanted to take me to the county jail for that, which I think was kind of fucking petty and bullshit, but I mean, fucking, it's the game, bro. I'm in the game. What do you want me to say? I lost that night. I went to jail. When I got down there, and they were booking me in, they were going through my clothes, and they pull out a bag. And this bag in particular that he waved in front of my face just like this and said, that's 2 more felonies right there, the officer, was filled with brown sugar. However, previously it had heroin in it. So when they went to test it, it tested positive for heroin. I remember, dude, I'll never forget the deputies fucking roasting the shit out of me. Like, I put brown sugar on my fucking oatmeal in the morning. Like, just lighting me up, dude. Lighting me up. And, I can't say I blame them because I probably would have done the same thing if I was them. And so what ended up happening was those 2 felonies, felony conveyance and a felony possession charge, were dismissed for future indictment. And the misdemeanor I bonded out on, and I don't think I ever did any time for that. That was kind of whatever. Then I started to rack up some like petty theft. So now I'm like in and out of jail. I'm doing a week. I'm doing 2 weeks. I'm doing a month. I'm doing a week. I'm doing 2.5 months. I'm doing 2 weeks. Whatever, just for like little shit. Because like nobody's got the money to bail me out. Really, like. There's nobody that's going to be... And if you do bail me out, obviously I'm just going to go back.
Yeah.
Because I continue to do so.
Yep.
And then I picked up 2 more felonies and a DUI. So that night I passed out behind the wheel in the middle of an intersection. An officer found me passed out. I had heroin and crack cocaine on me at the time. I started moving into the crack cocaine realm.
Little speedball.
And I liked a good speedball. That's my favorite thing. Speedballs were my shit.
Nothing wrong with a little 1-and-1. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean for the viewers, if you don't know what a speedball is, that's when you mix an upper with a downer, and holy fuck, what a feeling. It's something else. But so I got hit with 2 more felony 5 possession charges. So now I've got a total of 4 felonies. Those again dismissed for future indictment, but they put me on probation for the DUI, right? I go to see my probation officer, first time, pissed dirty, boom, violate.
First time, no warning, no nothing.
Well, when I pissed, I knew I was dirty. So, like, I didn't go back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew it was going to be dirty.
Yeah.
I still showed up. For whatever dumbass. I guess it didn't matter either way. I was fucked either way. I couldn't stop. I could not fucking stop for the life of me. Like, it didn't matter if I was going to jail. I couldn't stop. From there, once I violated my misdemeanor probation, my dad was like, all right, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of the house. And I wish he had done it sooner because it really... is what I needed.
Absolutely.
What I needed. and I found myself homeless on the west side of Columbus, Ohio. We had sold the house that I grew up in that nice community in Grandview. Lived in a condo, me, my mom, and my dad. And so off I went. I didn't even argue with him. I was like, all right, cool, later. Like, grabbed a couple needles, fucking, okay, bye. I mean, what's the difference, really, truthfully? Like,
Yeah, right.
to me, it didn't matter because I was like, I was at what the book describes it as the jumping off point, where I wanted to get sober, but I didn't know how, and I wanted to kill myself, but I was too much of a coward to do it.
Yeah.
So, like, I was passively suicidal. Like, if I got hit by a bus or shot or overdose
Or didn't wake
whatever.
up, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just as long as I just don't wake up and
Yeah.
I'm not doing it and knowingly doing it, I can handle that.
Yeah.
That's cool. And yeah, dude, I was homeless for like 30 days. I remember when they picked me up. I remember this like it was this like Mazda sedan. I'll never fucking forget when it turned the corner, and it had limo tint windows like all the way around, like on the front, all the way around limo tint. And I saw that car coming, and I said, "Yep, that's for me. Yep." And it was. As soon as they pull up next to me, you know, fucking pistols out, get on the ground, fucking. It's like, guys, relax. I'm just doing some drugs.
Yeah.
Don't get to pull your pistols on me.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all good. They took me down to jail, and I sat in the county for 5.5 months this time. And that's a haul in a shitty county jail.
That's a haul, period. That's a long time, period. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've heard people say our county jail it's 24-hour lockdown.
Oh.
Like not 23 in 1, 24-hour lockdown for real. Like,
That's
for real.
that's tough.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I've heard people say all the time, I'd rather do a year in prison over 6 months than this fucking piece of shit. But just to give you an idea of how bad the arrangements were, so to speak. And yeah, dude, I'm sitting in there, and then finally I go to court. The judge is like, all right, Mr. Essig, these are your first felonies, and because of that, we're going to offer you probation. But if you violate your probation, we're going to send you to prison for the maximum amount of time possible. And I was like, oh, cool, so I'm going to prison. Awesome. Because I couldn't stop. I knew I was going to violate. I knew I was going to fucking violate. She said that, and I was like, I think it was like 5 to 8 or some shit. Which was just because that's, I mean, all 4 combined. That advance is a felony 3. So, I mean, yeah, I was cooked. And I went back behind the courtroom, and I asked my public defender, I said, yo, man, can you get me some help? Is there anything you can do to get me some fucking help? He said, all right, there's this drug court program, let me see if I can get you assessed for it. And he did, and they let me in. And what that did was that moved me out from underneath that judge to a different judge.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get released. I get released on house arrest. That's part of the whole drug court thing. Are you guys pretty familiar with drug court now?
Oh yeah. We work real closely with drug court.
Yeah, it's like the craziest version of probation you'll ever see in your life.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You're doing everything. You're seeing the judge once a week. You're seeing your PO once a week. You're pissing in a cup 4 to 5 times a week. You're going to your little outpatient shit. You have to get 3 recovery meetings. I mean, it is insane the amount of stuff you have to do. And I decided, let's see, I got out on a Wednesday, and then Friday rolled around. And when Friday rolled around, the gears started turning. I woke up at like 6:30 a.m. It was early. So I wake up and I'm like, oh, you know, man, I could probably get away with one. Like, just one really quick.
Yeah,
that happened.
That dooming thought.
Yep.
You know? Like, it's early as fuck, right? So, like, that's perfect. You know, I'll be good by Monday. So I call my dope boy. He showed up quick, too. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, why are you showing up quick now? What the fuck? Where was this at the past fucking 5 years or whatever? Like, Now you're fast. Like now you get here in fucking 15 minutes. Like god damn. But he did. He showed up quick as fuck. And this house where I was on house arrest, the judge wouldn't let me stay with my mom because he knew. Like that's how bad it was. He knew that if I stay with her, I don't stand a chance.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, and I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have at all. She would have talked me into it, like for sure. Or I would have talked her into it, one way or the other. I get this bag. I go up to the second floor of this house I'm living in, and I snorted a line of heroin. I didn't shoot up. I snorted a line. And I remember starting to head down the stairs to go outside to smoke a cigarette. And then black, darkness, nothing. I wake up. There's like 6 people standing over top of me. It was the EMTs. They brought me back. Unfortunately, I was on house arrest, so I violated because they took me to the hospital. I was sick about that. I was so selfish, bro. Like, I was so fucking selfish because I didn't think about like, oh, you almost just died. Like, how would your mom and dad feel about that, or your sister? No. It was just all about Lewis.
Yeah.
His fucking house arrest monitor.
Yeah.
You know, like it just, you know how it is.
I can't believe y'all fucking called the EMTs.
Yeah, like why would you do that? You know I'm on house arrest.
Oh God! So I decided I was just going to turn myself in come Monday, and that's exactly what I did. I turned myself in. They sent me to jail for 2 weeks, and I said, "All right, fuck this. I'm gonna go ahead and do your little bullshit program." And I did for 6 months. For 6 months, I checked every single box they had, and you know what? My life did get better, but I didn't really work on Lewis at all. I was a dry drunk, you know, and you and I mean, we both know that is fucking miserable too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You
That's
know?
worse than actually being in the addiction, probably.
I mean, yeah, there is an argument to be made.
Yeah.
They are similar, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking miserable. And so, I mean, you guys can imagine what happened next. I relapsed. And they sent me to a minimum security prison for 6 months. Prior to going to that prison, because I knew I had given them dirty urines, I called one of my friends in recovery. He had 30 years. And I said, listen, man, I'll do anything. I will do anything to get sober right now. I promise you. Just tell me what to do. I don't care if it's stand on my fucking head in the corner. I don't care. I'll do it. And I meant it. And, you know, I got sober July 3rd, 2016. It's my sobriety date. It's the last time I picked up a drink or a drug.
So you got, not to interrupt you, but you got sober prior to going and lay down those 6 months?
Yes.
And then stayed sober 6 months in jail?
Yes. It was honestly kind of perfect. Yeah. It was honestly kind of perfect the way it worked out. And like... I'm happy I went, dude. Like I that's stupid as that fucking sounds.
No, it don't sound crazy.
Not
It don't,
at all.
not to us.
Yeah.
I did 8 years, not all together, like over in my lifetime. So I'm with you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. And like I had those 3
14
weeks
hours.
when I went to court that day, and I remember I was like stoked. You know what I mean? Like telling the judge, like, man, this is great. Like I'm doing this and this and this and this, and I'm doing this, and it's going awesome. And he goes, "That's really good, Mr. Essig. And today we're gonna go ahead and take you into custody." And I was like, "What the fuck?" I remember I was a manager at a sub shop. I remember telling him like, "I'm a manager at a sub shop. How are you gonna do this to me? They need me at the sub shop. They need me." That was my big like claim to fame. I was a manager at a sub shop. Like they're gonna not be able to survive without me.
Hey, they survived without Jared. They can survive without you, huh?
Yeah, no shit. Damn, good point. Damn. What if you had dropped that line on my head? That would have been crazy.
Man, so you know, obviously you get out and you start to proceed with life. You kind of like, touched on, the when your mom passed and the inspiration to start this and everything. So what is like, I'm a big why guy, you know what I mean? Like what's our why and why we go so hard on delivering a message of hope, right? And so like at this point in your life, about to celebrate 9 years, with all the tragedy, with all the overcoming, with all the adversity, and with all the shit that you've, strapped up and kept pushing fucking forward for, what's the why for Lewis to keep going, to create the grit, get a grip, and to keep spreading that hope and all of that?
God damn, it's such a good question. There's so many different ways I can answer this. I mean, dude, I didn't realize how many people you can help through this shit. Like I'll read comments. I remember I read this one comment. Dude was like, Lewis, I applied at a correctional facility with a criminal record because you got a job there and they hired me. And I was like, whoa, like that, that tripped me out.
Hell yeah.
And then there was this chick, she was in my live, and I was telling her, I was like, if you go to fucking rehab, I will give you my phone number and I will answer the phone every single fucking day if you call me. Like, just to be there, just so you have someone, right? And she did, bro. And she's still sober today, as far as I know. And, like, those are just two small examples of, like, what the podcast has done and what it's been able to do. And, like, I remember one of the guys that we had on, he texted me afterwards, and he was like, hey, bro, thank you so much. No one's ever cared to listen to my story.
Man.
Like, that shit hit me hard. Because he was one of the dudes that was locked up where I worked, and like, I remember clicking with him real well, because I'm not a CO, I'm a felon, like,
yeah.
So, like, hearing him say that was just like, wow, that's crazy. The other why, there's another side to this. Of course I want to help people. Of course I want to do everything I can to spread the message of recovery. I also want to work for myself. I want the freedom to work for myself, the freedom to call the shots, the freedom to, you know what? I'm going to sleep until 9 today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
yep.
Like, though, little shit, but, like, I now currently work for our local news station. I literally have a job that people go to school and try to get degrees for, and then hope to get the job I have. And I have it. And I'll tell you, like, it's the whole corporate, like, it's just gross. I don't like the corporate feel, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just really feel very strongly that I'm meant for something bigger.
I hear that.
And this is it. You walk the fulfillment you get helping people like us. That's what I tell people. No salary. Me and Mike talk about this all the time. It's no amount of money you can pay me to get the feeling that I get when you get one comment say, "Hey, I followed your suggestion and like look at my life now."
I know.
You can't write me a check big enough to get that feeling.
And I understand the aspect of like wanting to be, to work for myself, right? So like, and it's not like, for me, it's not like this like ego driven thing, but it's like, if I can build something that I can work for, and then B gives me the ability to employ other people and create
that too.
A journey of their life, right?
Yep.
Man, first and foremost, I appreciate everything you shared. Before we wrap up, make sure you could tell everybody who's tuning in on our end where they can find your platform and all of your information.
Yeah, my personal Instagram is just at Louis Essig, Essig. Um, our link tree has everything. It's in every bio of every platform, but our handle is at official Get a Grip podcast.
Yep.
Across the board: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the whole deal. So
Definitely.
I know you too big, bruh. I've been reposting all your stuff. So if
I
you want,
appreciate that.
if you want to lead by example and show them how to follow Built by the Red Stick, you know what I'm saying? You want to be the leader that you born to be.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Man, before we wrap up with our farewell, is there anything you want to share about like hope or about the grind and about the journey?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Here's what I tell people. Check this out. If you had come to me on the right day in a jail cell, okay, and you came in with a contract and a pen, and that contract said, for the next 5 years, or no, fuck it, next 10 years, we guaranteed job at McDonald's for $10 an hour. I'm going to get you a 2000 Honda Civic with 110,000 miles on it. I'm going to get you a bank account. I'm going to get you a shit-ass apartment. Trash. Piece of shit. And I'm going to get you a girlfriend, but she's going to be hit. I would have signed that bitch so fucking fast. So fucking fast. Like, because I really thought that little of myself. I really didn't think that I could do anything. Like, I thought I was fucked.
Yeah.
So my message, my parting message would be, if you get sober and you can get through the things that most of us have been through, you can fucking do anything.
That's
you just have to fucking stick with it. You have to. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
You know, like, you've got to stick with it. You've got to take action, dude. My first job ever, they said, you can't be a manager. It was at a pizza shop. You can't be a manager because you're a felon. What do you think I did? I quit. I went to a fucking hotel, and the hotel ended up paying me like $4 more an hour. And at the time, that was the play. That was the play. It was to go grab $4 more an hour. And then from there, I took my hospitality, and then I started running food. Then I was bussing tables, and then I was fucking a waiter and a server, and then I'm moving up in nice restaurants. And then COVID hit. And then that's when I worked at the jail. And then from there, I went into sales, logistics. I worked in logistics sales, and now I work for the most watched news station in Columbus.
That's fire, bro.
It's and that, but all of that was me meeting my higher power halfway.
Absolutely. Yep. Say it again for the people in the back.
Yes, Lord.
I mean, I can pray all day long, right? But if I take no action, nothing.
Faith
Nothing's gonna happen.
Works is dead.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. It's a waste of time.
Yep.
Well, bro, we appreciate you joining us, man. More than anything, man. We appreciate you making the time for us. Unfortunately, it's Ronnie's least favorite time.
My least favorite time of the pod. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, goldfish, hamsters, gerbils, naked mole rats. Again, we appreciate y'all for tuning in for another episode of Built by the Red Stick. We genuinely, from the bottom of our heart, from the depths of our soul, appreciate Mr. Lewis from Get a Grip Podcast for joining us in such an intimate and powerful conversation.
Of course, dude.
My people that's struggling with alcohol or drug abuse, struggling with mental health, you know how to reach us. We say it every episode, and we're not going to stop. Facebook, Built by the Red Stick. TikTok, Built by the Red Stick. YouTube, Built by the Red Stick. You can even go to builtbytheredstick.com now. You can message me on my personal Facebook, Ronnie LeDuff. You can message my guy right here, Michael Axelrod Oakley on Facebook. I'm sorry. Instagram, Built by the Red Stick. Let's start this journey together. What'd you say, my guy?
Can I ask you what your title is? What's it mean?
Go ahead. We thought you would never ask.
So, Built by the Red Stick. Red Stick in or Baton Rouge in French is red stick. So when they were sailing down the Mississippi during the exploring Louisiana, there had just been a war with the Indians, and there was a stick covered in blood right outside of where they would later call Baton Rouge, and they said Red Stick, Baton Rouge. And so I'm born and raised in Baton Rouge. Ronnie's born and raised in Baton Rouge, Baker area. And so that's what built us. The Baton Rouge built us. We've overcome. We've thrived in it, and we just want to give back to our community. So
the same community,
like
man, that we put all this evil and dark stuff and tore the community down and ran our parents crazy. We want to use that same energy to lift it up and like be the change that people want to see. And so we're just giving back, and everything we've been through has been built by the Red Stick.
yes, indeed.
Yes.
Deep. That's cool. I like that.
Thank you, sir. Hey, eventually we're going to get a grip. I like getting a grip, too. That's catchy. I had to get a few grips in life.
Good dog.
Y'all, this was a great episode, right? We got to give Mr. Lewis another Built by the Red Stick hand clap again. And as always, my people, we'll be back at the same time, at the same place, with the same producer. Built by the Red Stick, baby. Built by adversity, led by courage.
We love y'all.
Built by the Red Stick, you can't tell me nothing.